Hello and a warm welcome to this podcast. Well, this is the podcast where we shall be discussing a lot about women. This is your host, your podcaster, Prarthana Hazarika. Well, it's International Women's Day, and today we shall be discussing about how Udyamini is sustaining the rural women entrepreneurship ecosystem. We shall be learning a lot about Udyamini. We shall be learning a lot about rural women entrepreneurship, how they're working, what needs to be done, how is Digital India helping these women? Are they really empowered? We shall be discussing this with our guest. Let me first introduce to you, we have with us two very beautiful ladies. They look to be absolutely successful in what they are doing, and not to forget, they are encouraging a lot of young women. They're encouraging rural women to take up entrepreneurship and to be successful in their own way. Let me first introduce my first guest, Rakhee Choudhury. She is a handloom value chain expert. Welcome to our podcast.
Hello.
On this very, very special day, and I wish you a very happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
And on the other hand, we have a very young and a vibrant woman, and she is Tonmoie Sarmah. She is a Deputy Program Manager, State Lead for Udyamini Program, Digital Empowerment Foundation.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hello and a warm welcome to our podcast. This is the first episode on women entrepreneurs, and this is going to be very exciting because even I need to learn a lot about the kind of roles both of you are playing.
Thank you so much. Happy Women's Day to both of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So tell me, how usually do you celebrate International Women's Day? Or do you really believe in International Women's Day?
Actually, what I feel is women are born entrepreneurs because like all the traits that are present, that needs to be present in an entrepreneur, that are already present in a woman. If we see, like they are managing the household unit, the domestic unit, they are enterprise of love, enterprise of care. So like actually when we recognize their aspirations and then we give them a space to grow, and also we also recognize the challenges that they are facing, and find out solutions that helps them to grow in the space or realize their aspirations. So that is how we could celebrate women every day, not only a particular day. So that is how I look at Women's Day basically.
So you believe in celebrating Women's Day every day, every
Yes.
single day, every single hour. What about you?
I think I also go by what Tonmoie has said. I also believe in Women's Day in a way that I celebrate it every day. When I work with the grassroots rural women, and I see that, they smile back with joy when we, work with them together. That for me is a very small, step towards bringing her to the forefront. I celebrate it every day with my daughter, who is also, I have seen her flourish into a very beautiful young woman with her own, beautiful ideas and thoughts.
Yes.
So I think every day is a Women's Day for us. We need not specially come, have it on a special day. Yeah.
So coming to you, you have been associated with Handloom for quite some time, for a decade now. Tell us how Udyamini is trying to make this rural young women and all women across their age groups to sustain in this ecosystem. How are you helping in? And you have been into a lot of field work, and you have seen their lives. So how do you think things have really changed, and how Udyamini can bring in a change?
So Udyamini is a very beautiful project, which is program, which is basically whatever is already happening in the rural sector as far as business is concerned with rural women. It's basically creating a space or a voice, to ensuring a voice that these women come up with. So Udyamini project is like where few value chains are coexisting together along with crosscuts of digital and DRE, where each value chain would not just help rural women come up in that value chain in a holistic way, but also have crosscuts, like how they can capacitate themselves with digital empowerment, how can they capacitate themselves with DRE, etc. But what is beautiful in this program is that besides working on each value chain and helping the rural women become an entrepreneur in that particular value chain with end-to-end solutions, how we through this Udyamini platform also help them become one voice, each woman to become aware that she also is an Udyamini, where she has the power to stand up and speak for herself. So through this whole business journey that we are going to take each and every rural women in each and every value chain, we also are going to bring in that change within her, that yes, I also have the power to stand up and ask for my rights, as far as my social rights are concerned or as far as my business rights are concerned.
Absolutely, very well said. So, Tonmoie, what do you believe? Culturally, it is said that the rural women in the Northeast, they are far more advanced than the other parts of the country. So, do you really believe in this concept?
Yes, I actually, this saying actually, maybe it's rooted in the culture and the social norms that are present in the Northeast region especially. So we have like more than 200 tribes and communities, and in some communities like we have found that the matriarchal system is there. So this is where this perceived empowerment thing comes up. So on a bigger context, when we see that this business or economic culture was present from decades, like long years back, but like when we say entrepreneurship in the modern terminology, so this is what is missing actually. The formalization part is missing. So that is where we need to work. And adding to what Rakhee ji has said about the Udyamini, we are looking towards like we have gathered together, like instead of having this fragmented approach towards a subject which is rural women entrepreneurs, we have joined hands with specializations, like now organizations who specializes in various value chains. Why not everyone join hands and work towards empowering this rural women entrepreneurs? So instead of having this fragmented approach, a collaborative approach will come up, and we are also looking at making this entrepreneurship an aspirational concept, so that different ecosystem players which are existing, they also come and support this woman. And also I would also say that this is something collectivization effort that we are looking into, since we know one voice never gets heard. When we collectivize, or when a group of women would put their points forward, then they are bound to get heard. So this is something we are looking into when we say about Udyamini. And yes, the woman in Northeast is empowered compared to other states or other states in India, but that is what the formalization part which is missing. We are working on that in this program, and we hope that this we could say for all women entrepreneurs, like now the rural women also, we could say they are also empowered in the coming period of time.
Yes, do you want to add something to this, what Tonmoie said?
Yes, see, when we say an entrepreneur, what comes into your mind is always the urban women, right? When you also look at the government's list of entrepreneurs, it's always the urban women which is in that list. There are very few rural women, and I think Udyamini is all about that, how we can bring rural women at the same level as a urban women entrepreneur. I think that's what we are aiming at.
Is there a challenge in making this happen? Because like you said, it's very important for the rural women also to understand and believe now that yes, I can also be a voice for myself. I can also have a business of my own. I can be also an entrepreneur. So is there a challenge, like you said just now, when we talk about women entrepreneurs, it's always the urban women who are talked about, or who's always seen in different platforms. So whether a challenge to bring in those rural women to the forefront?
Yes, it is very challenging yet, but having said that, it's also that government is also slowly opening up to the word entrepreneur with rural women, and a lot of at the grassroots level, a lot of programs are being launched by the government, and the ecosystem is changing. But even then, there are many challenges despite that. For example, if a lady goes to a bank to access funds, she still doesn't have it. Or how do you actually define a rural woman that she's a successful entrepreneur? It's something very, very, very far away yet. So the challenges are many, but in this particular program in Udyamini, each value chain is working very holistically towards this goal. And I think, as Tonmoie has said, collectively, somewhere, even if we cannot achieve it 100%, we would at least make the rural women aware that yes, we also have that space where we can stand up and ask for our business rights.
I would put it in a different way. I would say, how will Udyamini kind of help? Because there are people who are listening to this podcast. They would like to know more about Udyamini's steps, baby steps, or the bigger steps they want to take to bring in the rural women and get connected with the industry.
So I would just come to my earlier mention. What I said is about formalization. Actually, through Udyamini, we are envisioning that we will formalize this entire entrepreneurship culture that is already present or existing in the rural areas. So a simple example which I would like to put forward is a difference between a home school and a formal school. So in a home school, what is they are already doing this livelihood activities, they are already in business. But since they are not keeping their accounts, they are not doing this, they are not registering their businesses, that may be something which is missing. And through this program, we want to bring them to the mainstream. Streamlining them, registering them, getting their business registered, connecting them to the larger markets or the larger industry, so that they get recognized as an entrepreneur, as well as their enterprise is also recognized. So that is something we are looking into. So might
that
be
is challenging.
Yes, that is challenging. You have been in this handloom industry for quite some time. So tell us, are these rural women really convinced when you go to them and say that, like Tonmoie said, very simple words, that homeschool, the difference between homeschool and a formal school. So when you go to them, do your field work and, try to convince them that, you do some wonderful muga mekhela sador or, cotton mekhela sador, why don't you take them to the global market? Why don't you sell it to bigger houses so that your business flourishes and you become a good entrepreneur? You earn for yourself, you earn for your family, you make a name for yourself.
Yes, when we do go to our women and say what that you can also become a business lady and you can take your handloom products to a global market, they believe in you. It's not that they don't believe in you, but they're so unexposed yet, and they're so much yet still within their villages that it's going to take some time for us to really convince them to come forward. The main thing is that what is lacking in the handloom sector specifically is that whole exposure towards a bigger market. While handloom has got taken over by powerloom, you already know that, and it's already a kind of a declining kind of a space that's unless we all fight for it back. The lack of exposure towards market is one of the biggest challenges that they face from the villages. But having said that, there is a positivity to that also, because now communication is becoming very easy with roads coming up. Now villages are no longer, you cannot say that village is remote anymore. Yes. So I think that's the positive side. So if we come together and make sure that the women have access to right kind of markets, they would definitely come forward. I want to say one thing here, that each rural woman that we have come across, or I have come across in my 20 years of life, workspace, I have never seen a woman who has been demotivated or doesn't have the positivity to come forward. The moment you say, she comes forward with a lot of trust to you that yes, what you are saying, I would like to do. So that aspiration within her lies, but she doesn't know how to go about it. Unfortunately, the way government also or the way things are done, it's in a very haphazard manner, that it's not done from like A B C, it's done like A to Z. They jump, right? Because it's more of numbers than of quality. And somewhere that's why there's a lot of confusion and chaos in the whole ecosystem itself, where everyone wants to do something good, but it's not happening because there's no systematic build up that's happening. So for example, in the handloom value chain, why we are doing, for us it's very important to go each step very 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 rigidly. For example, for us to make sure that production systems in the villages is very important, because we know that when the village women have a sound production system, they will have confidence to enter a market in any case. So that, it's a very small example I'm giving, but in every value chain, this is what we all are trying to do.
Tonmoie, going to you, talking about digital. How do you think, digital platforms can really help these rural entrepreneurs? Or what tools or what digital tools are you using to help them build their own businesses or make a name for themselves, for their business, to make move forward, to be financially independent? Because, we all talk about digital India, we talk about digitalization. So what tools do you think you can use to make these women empower?
So here I would just like to start from the organization. I'm just giving a glimpse of the organization from where I come today and whom I am representing. So for 21 years, Digital Empowerment Foundation has been in this value chain. Like they are ensuring that last mile connectivity. They are working towards that to bridge the gender digital divide. So what we think is there are 3 A's in case of digital tools. When we say, there should be awareness about the digital platforms or the tools that are existing. Second, they should have the access to it. So, and the third, that is most important, is do they have the capacity to avail those. So these 3 things that we are focusing into. So what we are saying, under this Udyamini program, we have a very old program, decade back we have launched Suchnapreneur model, which we have contextualized this model in various contexts. We have this Suchnapreneur centers in T-tribe communities for our rural women entrepreneurs under the Udyamini program, but we have contextualized it depending on the needs that we have identified. So when we talk about rural women entrepreneurs, what we see is the first question that arises is, are they maintaining accounts of their are they maintaining those records of their businesses in preliminary records like incomes, expenses. Then second thing which we look into is, are they aware of the schemes, public schemes or the business schemes that are ongoing, and are they able to avail those schemes. So in this context, what we are thinking is this Suchnapreneur model, or which we have named this woman as the Suchnapreneur Business Mitra. So she would be present in this rural community. She will be catering to the needs of this rural women entrepreneurs. She'll be there to support them to make them aware. Then she should also provide them with the access, and they will be able to avail those schemes through this model actually. So this digital tools or whatever digital platforms are, these are just a medium which will be using to empower this rural women entrepreneurs. And this sustainable, since we already I have already mentioned that under this Udyamini program we are trying to demonstrate certain models which will be accepted and may be replicated by our ecosystem players in the long run. So we in the livestock value chain, as I have mentioned, the Suchnapreneur Business Mitra model which we are trying to implement under this program. Under this livestock value chain, we have this Pasture Sakhis, who are also rendering this last mile services to the livestock value chain. Then, as Rakhee ma'am already mentioned, in the handloom value chain, we'll have this resource centers. The market is a problem, so we training them, we are capacitating them, and this Suchnapreneur Business Mitras are our digital rural women entrepreneurs who will be enabling the rural women entrepreneurs at the grassroots level.
So do you think these women will be able to kind of become more and more sustainable in the field they're working now?
Yes, we believe this because since I have already mentioned when we have this fragmented approach, one organization coming to help these rural women entrepreneurs, and after the project is over they go away, then the sustainability becomes a question. Now when all the specialists comes together, join hands, the government, we are also inviting the government to join us, support us, or the non-government civil society organizations to come and support us, so that when this Udyamini program is over, they at least we leave back some models which can be replicated and which are sustainable beyond this 4 years program.
Yes. So what would be your advice to the rural women entrepreneurs to kind of how will they sustain? What is your advice to them? What they need to do?
See, the rural women right now, what has happened is that in some ways they're still very unexposed, right? For example, they multitask, right? They do farming, then they do whatever other work that is there in their household. They look after the children, and also they try to do some kind of small business, whether it's a very village level business or whatever. They try to do that, so they multitask. And I think somewhere that whole essence of that I need to do something in a more holistic manner is missing out, because they're always performing and trying to complete something, right? So when we talk to many women in these rural areas, we see that in the quest of trying to overcome all this, they lose out that space, okay, how do I need to achieve something for myself, for me, that is, as a woman, how do I need to achieve something for myself, instead of always trying to do an act for someone else, like whether it's my children or my husband or the family or for the society. So the message that I would like to give here is that it's time for all the women now to come together, even in the rural sector, make them aware that you need to now sit back and also do something for your own self, because that would also help you in your entrepreneurial journey, right? So that is what I feel. And also in the rural sector, what has happened is there's so many things happening that women are now only awakening up to the whole business ideas, or to become okay, I can also become a business lady, I can also have my own business, and there are opportunities coming my way. A lot of family support is required here, and some way we do see the men also help silently supporting. It's not that they don't support, right? So we do see that they support, and the rural the women are very resilient. They can overcome, they have that positivity, as I said, that they're never demotivated, they are not never they never come to you and say, will I be able to do it? It's just that opportunities are not there, right? So if these opportunities come their way, definitely these women can sustain themselves if they do take out that space for themselves, right? That whole thing that I need to keep doing something for someone else, that also has to stop somewhere, so that you can also do something for yourself. You
can also focus on yourself,
yes,
and understand your capabilities and abilities,
exactly,
and the exposure,
exactly,
and also the kind of facilities now available, the programs that are coming in.
Yeah.
Tonmoie, do you agree with what Ms. Choudhury has said?
Absolutely. I totally agree with it. And just I want to share that one incident that we discussed prior to this interview. So recently, there was this thing when we talk about being self-aware among the rural women entrepreneurs. So this rural women, maybe in earlier days, they were not aware of their capabilities. Now, when recently we had a very big event, we celebrated and we awarded some of the rural digital entrepreneurs who were serving the community in terms of giving them digital services or connecting the last mile to these services. So in that we realized that I will talk only about Assam, when 40 plus women participated in this event. It was including the travel and all, it was a 1 week event. Earlier a woman didn't even have 1 hour. She can't leave her family or walk to the nearby market also for even an hour. Now when we have 40 women who could travel for 1 week, so we should also appreciate that the support system that is present, your spouse, your family, your relatives, they are also coming forward now supporting this ladies or this rural women to go forward, realizing their capabilities. Maybe they would be able to achieve more. So this is something, a positive change that is happening, and I think this support system, as Rakhee ji has mentioned, is very important, and if it continues to exist, maybe this rural women entrepreneurs would flourish in the coming period.
So such a wonderful experience that you have described and shared with us. I think this is going to be a very good example for women, like you said, who don't even have an hour time for herself. Like Ms. Choudhury also said that you have to think about yourself. Doing work for everyone is fine, farming and doing all other works and the village related works, but it's important to understand your needs, that you can be financially independent, you can be economically independent, you can be a person who can raise the level, can be a role model for other rural women in your area, in your society. So these are the kind of things that really motivates, I think, a lot of women. And I just hope, with this very first episode of our podcast on Udyamini, and with you both experts coming in and giving in your inputs and how Udyamini is working for the upliftment of these women, and giving them a space, giving them to understand that you can be a very successful in whatever you do, be it handloom, be it flourishing your own small scale business through using different digital tools. So it is also said that invest in a woman and the society and the world will be a better place to live in. So I would leave it on that positive note, and thank you so much to both of you for giving us your time and sharing your thoughts and just work the way both of you are working, and a role model for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So with that, I need to wrap up this very first episode of our podcast, and do send in your feedbacks. We are available on all social media platforms, and I really look forward for our next session. Thank you so much.